What's up, everyone? Josh here from KeepItTechie, where I help you learn Linux and break into tech one command at a time. And today we're finally covering a distro that I've honestly been meaning to talk about for a long time now, and that's Ezarcher Linux. Now, if you've been around the Orch world for any amount of time, you may have heard of this project. It's not one of those huge, flashy distros with massive marketing behind it. It's more grassroots, more community-driven, more builder mindset. And that's part of why I respect it. And in this video, we're going to break down what Ezarcher actually is, how it approaches Orch Linux differently, who it's really for, how the install process works, and whether this is something worth running a long time. Now, before we jump in, if you enjoy Linux content that's honest, beginner friendly, and focused on actually understanding what's happening behind the scenes, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. This channel is all about helping people level up their Linux skills and get into tech. All right, let's talk about Ezarcher. So first off, what exactly is Ezarcher? Ezarcher is a full-featured Orch Linux live desktop environment and installer system created by a developer known as EZNix. And I wanted to start this section with something personal. I've actually been following EZNix's YouTube channel for a very long time. And I've watched his Orch tutorials, his walkthroughs, his explanations of the Orch install process. And for years, I've been meaning to cover Ezarcher on this channel because I genuinely think it's an awesome project. So before we go any further, make sure you go over and support his channel. I've linked it down in the comment section because projects like this exist because of people who are passionate about teaching and building in the open source world. And that's exactly what Ezarcher feels like. Now let's go back over to the project and talk about what makes this distro different. Ezarcher is not trying to replace Orch Linux. It's not trying to dumb Orch Linux down. It's not trying to hide the complexity. Instead, it's trying to bridge the gap between I'm scared of the Orch install and I want to actually understand Orch. That's a big deal because a lot of Orch-based distros either abstract everything away completely or just throw you into the deep end. Ezarcher does something more balanced. It gives you tools, it gives you scripts, it gives you documentation, but it still respects the Orch way. Let me scroll down a little bit so you guys can see some of the features. But when you boot into Ezarcher, you're not dropped into a minimal environment. You get a full desktop, multimedia support, common applications, network manager enabled, printing enabled, Bluetooth ready to go, display managers configured depending on the desktop environment you select. That makes it incredibly useful, not just as an installer, but also as a hardware test environment, a rescue system, a learning sandbox, or even just a temporary working environment. And here's where Ezarcher really stands out. You get two primary installation methods. There's a Calamares installer. If you want a graphical installer, it's there, located right in the system menu labeled install system. And Calamares obviously handles disk partitioning, user setup, time zone, bootloader, file system configuration. It's clean, straightforward, and much less intimidating than doing everything manually. But here's the key. Ezarcher also includes step-by-step installation guides, bash install scripts for BIOS and UEFI, documentation that closely follows Orch wiki logic. And this is where I think the project shines. It's not just saying click next, it's saying here's how Orch works. If you want to learn it properly, we've got you. And in the live users home directory, there's a Ezarcher folder. And this folder is basically a learning toolkit. Inside, you'll find docs, which include introductory readmes and enhanced suggestions, install guides, which detailed workthroughs, install scripts like the Ezarch BIOS and the Ezarch.uefi scripts, package builds for Calamares and helper tools, and other scripts that include like maintenance and grub install helpers, and templates, which include Tor files for building your own desktop ISOs. And this is extremely transparent. Nothing is hidden, nothing is locked down. You can open the scripts and read them. And for someone trying to actually understand Orch Linux, that's powerful. Now, Ezarcher includes a built-in maintenance script with a simple menu system. It allows you to run system updates, reset Pacman keys, regenerate mirror lists, clean package cache, clean up journal logs, enable Bluetooth, enable firewall D. For newer Orch users, this removes some friction while still teaching you what's happening under the hood. Now, here's a quick technical summary. The base is Orch Linux. It falls under a rolling release model. The package manager is Pacman. The license is under a GPL version 3. The live user password is live, and the root password is TOOR. Because it's Orch based, it inherits the rolling release model, obviously. And that means cutting edge packages, but also the responsibility of staying aware of upstream changes. Sometimes things break, but that's Orch life for you. And Ezarcher doesn't pretend otherwise. And just so you guys know, as you can see, the project is very active. You can see that the ISO has been updated 1 week ago. So he's staying up to date with updating the system. Like EasyNix is on top of it, man. This is a one-man crew running this distro. But anyway, enough talk about it. Let's go down and jump into the installation, and I'll walk you guys through that live so you can see exactly how this works in practice. What's up, y'all? If you've been watching my channel for a minute, you already know I stay talking about Linux. And if you're looking for a solid, reliable enterprise Linux distro, let me put you on to Rocky Linux. This is the go-to replacement for CentOS, and it's built for the community, by the community. It's got everything you need for a stable and secure Linux experience, whether you're running servers, home labs, or enterprise workloads. And the best part, it's backed by CIQ, making sure it stays rock solid for the long haul. So if you're tired of these companies pulling the plug on your favorite distros, Rocky Linux is where you need to be. And I've covered Rocky Linux before, and trust me, it's worth checking out. So head over to rockylinux.org to learn more and get started. Keep it techie. Peace. All right, so I'm booted up into the live ISO. And like I stated a little earlier, the password to get into the live user is live. So all you have to do is type in live, and that should get you into the live user account. And then there's also another user account, root, and the password for that is basically root backwards. So TOOR, and that'll get you into the root account. But you can install from the live account. I just wanted to basically go in and show you guys how to install it. But first off, let's go into the home directory for this account, the live account, because I wanted to at least show you guys the Ezarcher directory. And as you can see under home, live, Ezarcher, this is where all your documentation is. So you can go in here. This is the Orch how-to. So all these text files in here is basically all your documentation. And he basically breaks everything down for you. Like I said, EasyNix, he did all the hard work for you by breaking all of this down for you and keeps it updated. So it's easy for you to follow along, and goes through all of his tools that he has. So here's an installation guide, install BIOS, GPT, MB, or as well as GPT, or UEFI, I'm sorry, and GPT. So let's go back, and here's your installation scripts. So Ezarcher BIOS, and this is UEFI. Also your package builds, Calamaris, downgrades if you need to, easy repo, open swap, package builds. And this is a cool part. So your scripts right in here, easy maintenance, your grub install, SHA, as well as your templates. So this is for all your different desktops. So Mate, KDE, LXQT, GNOME, Cosmic. So just wanted to at least go through here and show you guys all of this. And like I said, he has his documentation. You can also go into these scripts and modify them if you need to, or if you want to. You can also create your own, you know what I'm saying, if you want to, and package all of this up and create your own ISO. He goes through how to do that as well. I've seen videos on his channel where he shows you guys how to do this as well. But like I said, I'm gonna just go through and show you guys how to install it using the Calamaris installer. But if you go under applications, and if you go down to system, it should be under here under install system. Yeah, there we go. Install system, boom. And it's gonna ask you for your password, your pseudo password. You just type in that password. It's live for the live user. It authenticate. So let's go on and run this under here. And like I said, it's super simple using Calamaris. So we'll just quickly run through it that way. It automatically pick up your location, boom, keyboard, go down, select your keyboard settings, partition your hard drive. We can go erase this. You can set up swap if you need to. You can swap the file. We'll do that. You can encrypt your system if you need to. ext4, you can switch it to BetterFS or XFS. Let's see what else. You can select your master boot record, where you want it stored, and let's see, user account. So we're going to set that up right fast. So I'm going to set up Josh, and then we're going to put easy. Let's put easy or and then set up your passwords for it. Let's just go ahead and put something on there right fast, super simple. You can select this where it says require strong passwords. This will make it a little bit stronger. I have the easy password up here. And then you can also set it to log in automatically without asking for the password, which we don't want, but you do have that option. Use the same password for the administrative account. That's fine. Let's hit next right there. And here's the summary, and hit install. And we can go through that process of installing. And this will install it to our hard drive on the system. And then you can continue using the live ISO if you want to, and it'll install it based on, and this is the XFCE version that I downloaded from the site. And if we go back over to the website, if you go back down here, you have multiple different versions you could have downloaded. I downloaded the XFCE version. You can get the Mate, the LXQT, and the KDE version as well. And I'll have those desktop environments. And you guys know I love XFCE, so that's why I downloaded that version. But I'll reboot when it comes back up, or I actually come back when it's finished with the install. All right, cool. So the installation is complete. It didn't take too long. You know what I'm saying? I just let it run. You know what I'm saying? Walked around and hooked up my coffee. You know what I'm saying? Put a little cream in there, a little sugar. You know what I'm saying? And came back and it was pretty much done. But like I said, man, it's EasyOrchard is dope. Like I said, once you go through and just check out those tools, those scripts, all the documentation that was put in here for you guys by EasyNix. You know what I'm saying? Just go through this documentation. It's definitely a lot of great information in here for you, just to help you guys understand how to use EasyNix and also understanding Arch Linux. Now that we've installed it and spent time using it, here are my real thoughts. First, it respects the user. EasyOrchard doesn't treat you like you can't handle complexity. Second, it's an excellent learning bridge to Arch. If you've ever said, I want to run Arch, but I'm not ready for a manual install yet, this is a great stepping stone. Third, transparency. Everything is open. Everything is editable. You can study the scripts and improve them. That's very much in the Linux spirit. Now, it's still Arch, so rolling release means updates can occasionally introduce problems. If you want a system that you install and never think about again, this probably isn't it. Also, this is a smaller project. That means smaller support base, less mainstream documentation, and you have to have a lot more reliance on the Arch wiki, which is a good thing because they have great documentation, but that's where you have to go. And that's not a bad thing. It just means you need to be more comfortable troubleshooting yourself. Now, EasyOrchard is great for intermediate Linux users, in my opinion, and I would recommend it for people wanting to learn Linux properly. Also, home lab enthusiasts or tinkerers or future system admins. People with a little bit of Linux experience is ideal, in my opinion. I wouldn't recommend it for absolute beginners and people that are afraid of the terminal. Now, in the ecosystem, EasyOrchard sits between, I would say, vanilla Arch and heavily abstracted Arch derivatives. It's educational, it's intentional, and it feels like it was built by someone who genuinely loves teaching. So shout out to you, EasyNix. I know you put a lot into it. So that's EasyOrchard Linux, a thoughtful Arch-based project that focuses on learning, transparency, and user empowerment. If you're ready to stop just using Linux and start understanding it, EasyOrchard is absolutely worth exploring. Again, go support EasyNix channel. Projects like this thrive because of community support. Let me know in the comments, have you tried EasyOrchard? Are you learning Arch? Or are you still deciding which distro makes sense for you? Now, like I always say, keep experimenting, keep learning, and of course, keep it techie. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Yo, what's up, y'all? Listen, if you've been sitting there thinking about making a move, let me tell you, tech is where it's at. I don't care where you're coming from, whether you've got a degree, a GED, or just pure hustle. There's room for you in this game. You see, tech is more than just keyboards and code. It's solving problems, creating opportunities, and building the future. You already have what it takes because tech doesn't care where you start. It cares where you're willing to go. You could teach yourself Linux, learn Python, break into cybersecurity, or even launch your own app. And the resources are out here for free. And yes, you heard me, free. Now, yeah, it's gonna take effort. You'll have to grind, but think about this. The time is gonna pass anyway. So why not invest it in a skill that'll change your life? I mean, tech doesn't just pay the bills, it opens doors to freedom, stability, and generational wealth. So stop doubting yourself, start small, stay consistent, and keep building. Because this isn't just a career, it's a movement. And guess what? You belong here. So let's get it, because the future is yours to build. Keep it techie.